Today we are talking about some must-have success. Yeah. Today we are talking about some must-have. Today we are talking about some must-have accessories. Is that a word? Is that a thing? Today we are talking about some must-have accessories for your online t-shirt business. Got it. What's going on, fam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is D and welcome to 713 Apparel. And today we are going to go over just a few items that I feel that every t-shirt business should have. It's not going to be in any particular order. It's just some things that I've noticed that has been beneficial to me as I go through kind of my workflow and cutting vinyl and vinyl decals, and it's just helped out a lot. But first, as of the time of recording this video, today is Veterans Day, so I want to give a huge shout out to my men and women in uniform. Thank you guys so very much for what you do for this country. It doesn't go unnoticed. Being a veteran myself, I understand the sacrifices that you guys make and that a lot of you continue to make. Just a huge thank you to each and every one of you. I love you guys. Just make sure you stay safe. And on another note, if you guys find these videos valuable in any way, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I know that I need to earn your guys' trust. We're a little bit lacking down in the comment section. So guys, just jump in here. You know, if you guys have any recommendations or if there's some different things that you notice that will probably work a little bit better, I'm open to it. And plus we can help out each other and help out other up and coming business owners. So you OGs, get in here, tell us what you got going on. Tell us what we could be using and doing much better. So thank you guys very much for hitting that play button. I know this is a marathon, not a sprint, and we're gonna slowly build this channel up, and it's gonna keep going and keep going and keep going. I know I'm gonna have to put in some years, put in some blood, sweat, and tears to make this channel what I want it to be. We're starting off pretty strong, but we need to get some comments down in the comment section. So make sure you guys do that. Now, as I said before, we're gonna look at a few items that I have found that have made my life and my workflow a lot smoother dealing with this online t-shirt business. So I'm going to share just a few of those with you guys, and hopefully if you find it useful, you can incorporate it into your workflow. So first up, we have the VAPTEC 2-in-1 clothing steamer. This thing was $99 from Amazon. And it's a game changer for me because I'm kind of anal about different things. And one of those things is the heat box that shows up on the good heat press. We all know that whenever we're pressing our garments, it will usually get a heat box, and that is because you are pressing the moisture out of the garment. And so it will turn the garment either darker or lighter depending on what type of fabric it is. And it just sits there for a while. Now over time, it'll go away, but me, I want to try to eradicate that right off the bat. So I ended up getting this steamer, and I'm gonna show you guys right here. I used two different sweaters. One is the exact one that I have on my Roger That hoodie. So I used this as well as a district crew neck that I got from Transfer Express. Last night was Transfer Express's Toast to Transfer Christmas edition, and so I ended up partaking in that. I ended up getting one of their little kits, and we all pressed some transfers and different things on some shirts and the sweater. I ended up pressing it again just so I can get that box on there. And so you can see in this video that in each of the cases with this sweater and that sweater, that heat box is gone. That discoloration is gone within, I say, 20 to 30 seconds. And so this thing is a game changer for me, like I said, just because how I am with these garments. Even if you're just gonna use it for your everyday life, this thing is pretty badass. And the thing with this is you can either use it vertically or horizontally. And so if you're gonna use it vertically, it has a mitt so that when you put your hand behind whatever you have hanging up, you're not burning yourself. Or the way I like to use it is I like to use it horizontally and treat it as if it was an iron. Next up is one of my personal favorites, only because I'm blind as a damn bat. This is the Brightech LightView ProFlex, and it says it's a ProFlex because the arm articulates, which is awesome. It's a flexible arm. So this is an LED light that in the center, it has a magnifying glass. And what people normally use this for is, you know, sometimes they're painting different figurines.
Now I am making your silver pants blue.
Stuff like that, but I used it because I used to collect football and basketball cards, and if I was going to try to submit a card for grading with one of the, you know, PSA or SGA grading companies, you would have to make sure that there was no blemishes on the surface, and the corners of the cards were immaculate, they were clean, and so that's what I use that for. But I've been out of the card game for a while now, and that thing was just kind of sitting. I use that light for weeding. Now, I do have this. It's a light pad that people usually use for weeding. It plugs up via USB. And I mean, this is okay. What happens is this board lights up, you put your HTV over top of it or your decal vinyl, and so you can see the cut lines, whatever it is that you're weeding. My thing is the light comes through only certain pieces, but it's not enough to where I know exactly where the cut lines are. What I'm able to do with the LED light is I can flex it and it will cover a large area, and I can see the entire HTV to be able to know where the cut lines are. Don't get me wrong, the light pad has its place. It's just like I said, I'm blind as a damn bat, and so I need something a little bit more substantial. Next up, we have the FISKARS 24x36 cut mat. And the great thing about this cut mat is it is self-healing. I got this for $32 at Walmart. It's pretty badass. So when I was thinking in my mind and gonna build this work area, I knew that I was gonna have two tables, one for my heat press, the other one was gonna be for the vinyl cutter, and then for me to cut vinyl. This mat is awesome. So it's not like you would cut some lines and you would not be able to feel it, you know, 15-20 minutes later. And you can cut some pretty deep lines in this cutting mat, and over time, usually like a day or so, it'll usually close back up. I've heard of people having these boards for years. I mean, I've heard one guy online, he was talking about he had his for like 18 years, which is freaking amazing. Next up is the BoxLegend version 2. This was $28 on Amazon. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure that all this is in the description below. This allows you to be able to fold t-shirts and certain sweaters, thin sweaters. It makes everything just looks a little bit more professional. I'll show you right here. This is what it looks like whenever I'm done using it. And you can see just how nice that looks, how professional it looks. And so, yeah. Next up, we have the MUNBYN shipping scale. And so this was $30. I ended up getting this from Amazon as well. It has a weight limit of 66 pounds. I don't ever see myself having any packages or anything that's gonna weigh that much. So this works perfectly for me. You can use this with 3 AAA batteries, or it has a plug in it as well. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Lights up. This thing to me is worth its weight in gold because I've already had to use it to populate my Shopify store with the proper weights of my poly mailers, hoodies, t-shirts, and so all that now is embedded into my Shopify store, and whenever I do anything, I know I'm going to have accurate weights whenever I go in to submit orders or fulfill orders. Now next up is the most expensive thing on the list. However, I think over time this thing pays for itself, and I'll actually explain that to you here shortly. But this is the Dymo 4XL label writer. This is how I print out my shipping labels. The reason I say this thing will pay for itself over time is this is a printer, but it doesn't use any ink. There's no ink cartridges or anything of that nature that you have to worry about. It is a direct thermal printer. What that means is the print head down here heats up. The actual labels are heat sensitive. Whenever the print head heats up, the areas where there will actually be barcodes and print, the labels reacts to the heat from the print heads. This thing actually comes with a starter roll of shipping labels. You'll have to make sure that you get yourself an extra box. This is one of the rolls right here. I've already printed them out. I'm actually going to be fulfilling some orders tonight, so I had to print these out. They just look professional. We care enough about our business. We want to make sure that it looks professional and that people understand that they're getting a quality product. Last but not least, this is probably the least expensive thing that's on the list. It was $10. That is Robert's Easy Tuck carpet tucker. I know this thing looks a little butt pluggish, but no judgment zone around here. If you like a little freaky deaky, that's all right. I'm gonna use it for decals. So this is for vinyl decals. Of course, we know whenever we're doing some vinyl decals, we have transfer paper that we need to put on over top of the vinyl decal so that it can be transferred off of the transfer paper onto the glass or wherever you're gonna put your decal vinyl on. And so this is just a bit more sturdy than, let's say, one of your standard squeegees or a credit card. I got this because I use it on not a daily basis, but I use it fairly often. People who are buying my decal vinyl, they're not using that all the time, so they can just use a credit card, something that they have, so that works for them. But for you and I, people who actually are using these for business, it's a good thing to have. It's a fairly sturdy, hard plastic type of tool for $10. I don't think you can beat it. And so like I said, I got this from Home Depot. So it was in the carpet aisle, but sometimes these can be in the wallpaper aisle as well. And so if you guys have any tips or tricks or some tools that you use that makes your life a little bit better in this business, make sure you go ahead and put that down in the comments below. And if getting started with your online t-shirt business just seems completely overwhelming, make sure you guys go ahead and check out this video. And remember, everyone deployed. And I'm out.